guys, it's Jen, and recently on Instagram there's been this huge wave called the 10-year challenge, and everybody's been doing it. They put a picture of themselves from 10 years ago right next to one now, and just sort of comparing and seeing how much they've aged, how much their style has changed and all of that. And so that got me thinking, wouldn't it be kind of funny for me to recreate one of my tutorials that I did 10 years ago? Because the picture I ended up choosing for Instagram's 10-year challenge was a video. It was one of the first videos I ever did. For some reason, I think the original one, I deleted it from YouTube because I think I was so embarrassed. And then after I started doing videos again for a year, people were asking me to re-upload it, so it's back up. So it's not my first video up on YouTube, but technically it was one of my first YouTube videos ever. It was done 10 years ago in 2009. It is currently 2019. I'm a little bit nervous about it because as I was preparing, I realized so many of my styling choices are young and I feel like it's just a big departure from who I am now. The tutorial was using like this bluish greenish light eyeshadow color for a smoky eye look, which is just absolutely not what I would wear now, but I think it'll be fun recreating it. Some of the items aren't exactly the same, so I'm going to do my closest approximation with what I own now. I tried my best to style myself similar to how I was in that video, including I uncovered these earrings. The same earrings I wore in that video from 10 years ago. I still have them. Styled my hair in a little braid headband like I did then, a little striped shirt, and let's go ahead and hop right into it. I'm gonna pull it up on YouTube. Okay, right off the bat, I am so incredibly awkward. It's a little bit cringy for me to watch this because I wasn't even smiling. I wasn't even showing any personality. I was kind of almost like dead a little bit. I think I was just so nervous and awkward. I wasn't used to being in front of a camera and I felt a little silly about it. I actually really like how the makeup looks, even though not what I would wear now. So I'm starting off using an eyeshadow primer. That's same old, still do that now. Oh, and another thing, I was too self-conscious about my voice back then, and that's why I would do tutorials and just write stuff on top of the video because I just hated hearing my own voice, which some of you might be surprised to hear because after doing videos for such a long time, you kind of get used to it. But yeah, definitely back then, I was not comfortable hearing my own voice. I don't have a regular big jumbo NYX eyeshadow base on me, so I'm just using a pencil eyeliner instead. Hopefully it doesn't set too quickly. Just shows I don't really do this same technique all that often anymore. Oh my goodness, this is setting so quickly. Not quite as easy. No wonder I used that NYX shadow base. You guys need a very waterproof pencil. Marc Jacobs right here. This is not blending out very easily. Next, I'm taking that light greenish shadow. So I don't have that exact one, so I'm using my Urban Decay Born to Run palette. It has this green shadow right here that I'm hoping might be similar-ish. Seems like a pretty teal called Big Sky. So I'm putting this on the inner corner and sort of blending it over the whole thing. So what that black base does is it kind of makes the color pop, which you can see. That technique still holds up over time. It looks very pretty and it gives it almost like a depth because the shimmery parts sit on top of the black. So when it reflects against the black base, it just looks extra poppy. So far, so good. And then I'm taking a blackish shadow and I'm just going to contour with that. So when I sweep it above here, I'm not really blending it into a crease. I'm just sort of blending out that teal color on the edge. I'm doing sort of this like oval teardrop shape. And then I actually went back with that first teal color. I gave it a little bit extra after doing the black. I used an opal color to highlight the brow bone. I'm actually just gonna do a regular light highlight. Next step is using a gel liner. I don't even own a gel liner, but man, that was like one of the first waterproof liners that worked really well for monolids. Gosh, it makes me think maybe I should pick some up again and try it out. I really loved it, and it was so cool that you could use it on both your upper and lower lids. Kind of forgot how well it worked for that without smudging. All right, looks like I did my signature thick liner here. And then I'm gonna use of the smudgy one on my lower lashes, which I would only recommend if it's dying like this one is. It looks like I really tried to blend that up. Went back with the black eyeshadow, and I'm smudging out the edges of the liner. So when I was doing this tutorial, I think I remember the reason I used to do this, why I would blend out the harsh line, is that for monolids, sometimes when you have a really thick wing, it can look really sharp when you're blinking your eyes. And I wanted to have the depth of having that black line near my eye because, you know, I don't want my eyes to just be swallowed up and have you not be able to like see them. But I also didn't want it to look like black holes on my eyes. So I thought if I blended it in, then it would be a little more seamless when I would blink and still give that open eye effect. And then I took the same light eyeshadow, the green one, and I used that to highlight the inner corners right here. I feel like the shadow I'm using today is a little bit darker than the one I used in the video, so maybe I'll mix that with a little bit of the lighter shade. Okay, and then the next step is tight lining, which is super hilarious because I do not tight line. My eyes are actually really sensitive to having makeup products right up next to it, so that's a habit that I have kicked 10 years ago. We're gonna do it just for this video. It does look nice. For those of you who don't know, tight lining is lining the waterline, which is the part right next to your eyeball. So do you see the difference here and here? This one's a little more dramatic because it's black. Definitely a personal preference thing. If you don't have sensitive eyes, you can definitely try this out, or if you're like me, it's also okay to just avoid this stuff. Freaks me out even doing this now. This is a thing though, everybody back then did tight lining their waterline for makeup back then. Yep, my eyes are still sensitive. I think it's done. Next step, I am curling my lashes. Another thing that I did differently than I do now is after curling, I just went straight for the falsies instead of putting mascara on them first. So we're gonna do it that way. I'm using very similar crisscross lashes like I used in the video. I'm popping them close to the lash line. Then I used the gel liner to cover the glue line. I'll just use my eyeliner from before. And then I went back in with my lash curler to combine the lashes and used my mascara to blend them together. Then I used a brow product. It was like a powder, so I'm using this powder today. This is from Urban Decay Double Down Brow, and I said to fill in the sparse areas. I kind of forgot how much I like using brow powder. It's like so soft and fast to fill it in. For a lot of people, the worst part of their 10-year challenge was that they had really thin brows back then, but I kind of have always liked a more natural, thicker brow. My brows actually look pretty similar now as they did back then. I'm not saying it as like a bragging thing at all, but it just goes to show that different people can have preferences that are different from each other, and just because there's a makeup trend going on, you don't always have to follow it. You can just find out what works best for you, your style, your own features. And I know 10 years from now, everybody's gonna look at bushy brows and be horrified again. Next, I'm going to add a peachy blush. So I'm using this one from Tarte. Didn't do any contouring or anything, just stuck with this one blush color. And then I am using the exact same lipstick color. This is from YSL number 13. It's the Rouge Volupte in this peachy color that I probably would not wear now. That is so pastel on me. See, this is why I think I used a lip gloss after it to sort of neutralize it a little bit, because it is a very powerful color. I don't have a gloss on hand that is a little bit of a brownish shade. I'm gonna take a little bit of a more neutral lipstick and see if that helps. So I guess this is the final look. I mean, I will say there are some differences because eyeshadow formulations have changed over the last 10 years. They've really improved so much. I'm also using some different brands, and that has an effect. I probably would not wear this lipstick with this eyeshadow look, but doing the really nuded out lips was such a cool thing to do back then, and I feel like now people just go for a lot more natural looks. The eyes, on the other hand, I am loving this. Even though bluish greenish teal is definitely not what I would grab for, it looks really cool. And it's something that I would do again and maybe even experiment in a few different colors. I'm like re-inspired, which is so funny to say because I'm inspired by me 10 years ago. That's a decade ago. That is a 10-year-old human being, which is insane. Maybe in another 10 years, we can do this again and call it the 20-year challenge. But anyway, I really hope you guys enjoyed this. I really had a lot of fun, especially walking back in memory lane, not only for the finished look, but the actual products I used and the way that I applied it has really changed over time. So it was a nice refresher remembering some of the things I was really in love with and some of the ways I used to do my makeup that is like so different than I do it now. Still have the wonky eyes, same as in the video. Overall, I think it looks very similar and I had a lot of fun. If you guys remember this original look, please just give this video a thumbs up. Let me know down in the comments. I would love to know what was the first video you remember seeing of me. Like, what was it that brought you to my channel, made you subscribe, or just like the video that you used the most and that actually helped you with your makeup journey. I love hearing stories like that, so please let me know that in the comments down below. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you're brand new here and have no idea why I would be doing this look in the first place. I've been around a while. If you want to see this original video, I will leave a link in the little thingy above and in the info box below, so you'll be able to find the original video. Either way, go watch that one in the comments of that one. If you came there from here, leave a comment on there so I know, because I think that'll be really interesting too. Anyway, I love you guys so much and I will see you in my next video. Bye!